The Poudre River Ecology Partnership, known as PREP, provides place-based watershed education to residents of the upper Poudre River Watershed. PREP brings together Fort Collins utilities and the mountain communities of Livermore, Stove Prairie, and Red Feather Lakes to take part in activities related to watershed science and water stewardship. The Poudre River Watershed is all of the land, including Livermore, Stove Prairie, Red Feather Lakes, and all of the mountains and hills above it and the land downhill of it that drains its water to a single point. So when it rains or snows on the land in the watershed, it will all eventually drain downhill to the same place, Fort Collins. The streams and other water sources in our watershed are very important to our communities because this is where we get the water that we use for drinking, doing dishes, growing food, and all of our other daily activities. Not only do we use this water, but plants and animals do too. This is why it's very important to learn about and protect our watershed and the water in it. In PREP programs, Fort Collins Utilities goes out with students and teachers in 2nd through 5th grades from Red Feather Lakes, Stove Prairie, and Livermore elementary schools to learn about our watershed and why our watershed and local streams are important to healthy communities. On PREP trips, students do 4 different activities to collect data about our local streams and about our watershed. One activity that students participate in is a macroinvertebrates and water quality activity. In this activity, students learn about macroinvertebrates, which are small living organisms in the stream that can tell us about the health or quality of the water in the stream. Students collect these macroinvertebrates, and depending on which types they find, students can learn how healthy the stream is. Another activity students participate in is about the stream's water chemistry. Like the previous activity, water chemistry also tells students about the health or quality of the water in the stream, just using different measurements. Students collect data about the temperature and pH of the water as well as the amount of oxygen in the water to get some clues about how healthy the stream is. The third activity students do is about the shape of the stream and how fast the water in the stream is moving. Students measure the width of the stream and how deep the stream is. They also measure how fast the water is moving. This activity helps students understand what the stream looks and feels like firsthand and can give students information about how much water is in the stream. Lastly, the students do an activity about the weather and climate of our watershed. This teaches students that our weather, like the rain and snowstorms that we get in Colorado, provide the water we have in our watershed. And the climate and how it is usually very sunny and dry here has a big effect on the amount of water we have. PREP activities teach students about how our watershed works and why the watershed and the water in it is important to our communities and to communities downstream. The activities involved in this program and the program itself really allow students to get out and explore their environment and make connections with their natural resources for a bright future for our community.